Ooh, baby, if you haven't seen Ekster's new wallets, I love using their card holder wallet, specifically with their trigger mechanism. You just feel sleek and all out there, baby. You know, you feel like you get all the attention at the gas station when you pull that thing out. You're like, yeah, let me get a pack of 6 milligram chill Zins, even though they're not available right now. But, you know, you get them. You pull out the card. Everyone just looks at the wallet and they go, what the hell is that? And I'm like,
What
oh,
is
this
that?
carbon fiber thing? This is freaking Ekster card holder. It comes with a, I believe if you use the podcast code, it might come with a, if they're still running that deal, it might come with a tracker as well in case you lose the wallet at EDC or wherever the hell you are. Yeah, you can locate it pretty easily.
And then not to mention their other stuff too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They have awesome things for your travel needs and pretty much everyday essentials. Like the duffel bag that I travel with all the time. Fits in my MacBook perfectly on the bottom. They have multiple compartments. Fits pretty a good amount of clothes considering the size of it. Do not miss out. Use code 2am at ekster.com to save. Go
All
ahead and
the
check them
links
out.
will be below as well.
Yes, sir.
And then next up, we have the good old Butcher of the Box. ButcherBox,
Oh, it's my favorite
finest
box.
quality meats, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised chicken, wild-caught salmon, whatever you want in terms of cuts for meat, they have it. Dude, some of the cuts that have been coming out, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I love that they're always updating. It's dope.
And look, it's very important that you get a high-quality form of meat. And if you look at one side of the spectrum, you have factory farm stuff. It's garbage, and there's a bunch of like pesticides or rodenticides, whatnot, that you actually find in the meat as well. Both ButcherBox, they are on the other side of the spectrum. They are pure quality, and you can taste the difference, and that definitely translates into the quality of
100%.
your health.
Every time I put one on the grill, I'm just like, yeah, baby, ButcherBox.
To butcher that box.
Yep. Go ahead and use code 2am podcast if you're interested.
Yep. And you also get a good deal as well, $20 off, I believe, your first order. And then from there, you might even, if the deal is still active, you might get some free cuts for the rest of the year. So take advantage of that, get you some good meat, and enjoy some ButcherBox.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Today's episode is brought to you by the Transitional Times. We are currently in mid-heat. There's no AC in this warehouse. We're trying to secure the new studio. It's gonna be lit, dude. I cannot wait to show everyone, I swear to God.
And you might also be wondering why we're positioned in this specific area, but
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of inventory in this warehouse, and we're about sick of it. There's too much to discuss. It's a very busy time, I think, personally, for me and Zaid.
Yep.
But we haven't stopped talking about the pod, which is great. It's great news. So I think it's time for an upgrade. We're going to be spending a lot more time trying to really do this right, especially with the deals we've been getting. We got some work to do, and we need the right facility for that. I think there's only so much you could do while working from home, which Exhibit A, this is the podcast technically from the start. It's a work from home type of project.
And that's been the goal the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Just being able to have our own place.
Yeah.
We've hopped around to many different places. What is it, like 3 or 4? 5, maybe?
I think it was the 4th one. So right now we're going to the 5th location. We're trying to secure it. As you guys know, well, I didn't know this actually, but the amount of scams that's been going on with securing like a lease for a place, it's getting quite difficult because of all the scams, is what I'm trying to say.
Is that why it's a pain in the ass to secure a location?
Yeah, so one popular story that's pretty common, actually, more common than you think, is someone not paying the rent for the current facility while signing a lease agreement. By the time you are sued and allowed, you're basically in the process of going to court and all that. People are renting out, subleasing essentially, to other people while the actual lease agreeor is not paying the rent to the landlord.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
It's common enough for them to be
more of
on
pain
alert.
In the ass. Exactly, yeah. They want to know who you're backed up by.
Interesting.
Essentially. And it's not just about how much money you make, because you can make all the money in the world and still not pay someone. Shit happens all. It's happened to me.
And what it ultimately comes down to your credit score, history of.
It's not even
your
about me
wages.
anymore. It could be my credit score. My credit score could be like 800, right? And I can show them all my transactions from my multiple businesses or one business, whatever it is, including bank statements and all that. And then they'll go, all right, we trust you, but we need people to back you up in case you don't pay up.
Which makes sense on the surface
Yeah.
level. I mean, yeah.
And to some landlords, it could be one person that's the lease guarantor, or two people that basically have a minimum requirement of, like, you know, owning a home and doing all this crazy stuff, and basically have more than grand credit score and credit history, I would say. So
You can put more than one person on as the guarantor?
yeah. So they're the ones that are held liable in case you don't pay. They go for their assets, and then just it goes from there. They pay up, I guess. They got your back, essentially.
And here's the thing with our situation. It's like, we're in Southern California.
Yeah.
If we want to go to somewhere like Irvine or Tustin or any of these other more advanced, for lack of a better word, areas
Yeah.
that have more development and are popping off,
Yes.
it's going to cost. It's going to cost a lot more. Like, you can talk about the same square footage from, let's say, Garden Grove to Irvine, but it's almost like double or triple the price, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And in this market, I mean, today's economy, everything's going up and down in price. In at least the commercial industry, we in industrial spaces, but let alone, dude, real estate in general is just going up, and it's ridiculous. I think it's more for home ownership, but yeah. So we're in that boat right now. We're trying to get to.
We're in a boat traveling across the sea, going to
Yeah,
different
dude.
places.
I mean, like,
right?
if I had a relationship with the landlord, you know, because this is the spot that we want. That we really want this spot, and it just works out perfectly, you know, in
Yeah.
terms of like sound recording, no distraction, private suite,
Space.
all that. There's a lot of room to grow in it, and if we don't get it, that would suck. So that's why I'm trying really hard to get this one, even though they're asking for a lot. So
Well, if we don't get it, we're going to have to go nomad style for a little bit.
yeah,
We're gonna
kind
have
of
to
like
figure it
this.
out. Yeah, honestly, I like it too because it brings out the creativity,
Yeah.
especially from your point of view.
yeah.
Like, you can just go anywhere and find a nice
Technically,
place.
yeah. I mean, like, I can show you guys maybe a clip of like what the hell this back room looks like.
It's atrocious.
It's atrocious. Well, at least to us. I don't know how you guys will perceive it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, just trying to find a place that we can post up for a relatively long time.
Yeah.
And then the goal is obviously to have more deals go down and then
Yeah.
secure more money and then be able to pay off certain things effortlessly and then transition to bigger and bigger spaces.
Exactly. I think one of the first things that pops into my mind is how the hell do startups just like secure a spot, keep growing, and then just do it from there? Because to me, securing a spot has never been more difficult.
Yeah.
Just trust me, man. You know?
I don't know. I feel like you're either the perfect person to get a place and they just automatically accept you, or you have some really serious like connections or financial
Yeah.
backing or something like that.
I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know how much more serious financial backing you need for something that's relatively low in price.
Because it's a good question. Like, how can we improve regulations in society to the point where we can give people more opportunity to start shit like this?
Build trust again. And trust is out the window. I don't know if you've seen like how your current environment is in terms of society. It's like retarded. Sorry
So
for
much
using
red
the R
tape,
word,
bro.
but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, knowing like, okay, at least like my circle of people they're concerned too, because we're like, I mean, not to boast ourselves, but like, damn, I think we're generally good people, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what the
You
rest.
guys who watch seem to think we're good people, so.
Thank you. Yeah. It's currently 100 degrees in here, at least, and
It's too intense.
yeah, it's really sucking the energy out of it. You were mentioning earlier you've been the sun god over here can't even handle the sun right now.
No, I do like an hour of sunbathing, but because we have tile, like natural tile in the backyard, it's way too hot to even stand on.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have to jog around the backyard to make sure that I can spend more time there, because if I
Damn.
just stand there.
That's the equivalent to the power of the Saudi Arabian sun right there. Which goes to show why Saudi Arabians have so many children.
Yeah, literally.
It's all the hormones going up, dude.
What was that? Dude, I wanted to discuss this with you. Remember that podcast that I sent you the screenshots of?
Yes.
What's the fucking...
What was it?
I have to bring up the name, by the way. Hold on.
It's the 4 a.m. podcast.
Just give me 1 second while I search this up, because it's...
It's...
If we're talking about how a podcast should be approached in terms of, like, getting guests,
Yeah.
this is not it. So this is Sean Mike Kelly's podcast.
Yeah. Okay, before we get to that, let's answer this question.
Well,
Do you think that as a guest you should be paying to be on a show? Or should you be paid to be on a show? Or is it just straight voluntary?
I'm of the philosophy that if you want somebody on your show, it should be free of charge.
Yeah, especially if they're interested enough. Let's just say they're not interested, they don't know who you are. I'm down to pay up because that's value to me, right? Like, I value the other person. It's kind of like having an employee, you know? Do you want them to feel valued and do good work?
Yeah.
Or do you want them to just, like, do the work and feel unvalued and then just start calling out and just not showing up, quitting? Every employee quits after 4 months. You know, they grab a couple of paychecks, call it a day. Screw that. It just sounds super unethical.
It just doesn't make sense to me, especially if you are approaching the potential guest.
Yeah.
And then you make it seem like we're inviting you on to this big podcast, you know, you're going to talk about your work, about whatever, XYZ, and then you have to fill in an intake form. And at the end, the very last question of that intake form is, by the way, you have to pay $7,500, non-refundable, to be on this podcast because we have such a big reach.
$7,500.
Now, I think it's called the Social Hour Podcast.
Wow. You'll get 1 hour for $7,500.
Sean Mike Kelly. Now, he's got 11 million on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, #1 on Apple Podcasts. They're big.
Wait, sorry. Appearance fee. That's the part that made me...
Appearance fee. But the thing about it is, like, why the fuck are you approaching me?
Yeah.
Making it seem like you want me on the podcast.
Yeah.
To share my knowledge as an expert in this realm.
Because that's how you make money these days.
But it's ridiculous, because if you have an Instagram reach of 11 million and you're #1 on Apple Podcasts, you can find ways to make money.
Yeah.
Irrespective of that.
Yeah. That's kind of like, it just reminds me of when young people pay like $6,000 to go to a mentor that's like 24 years old, you know, to just show them every law of business and physics and anything you need to know realistically.
Yeah. But that's the dirty secret about PR and podcasting and all that stuff.
That's a business within itself. It's like if you fail at getting a job, what you do is you start scamming people out of money, right?
It's an option.
That's how it is. I mean, you're making money at the end of the day as long as you secure some sales at $7,500 each. Dude, 1 sale a month is good, you know? It's insane.
Dude, here's what I found funny about this, like the funniest aspect of it, that I sent to you. At the end of it, it's like, okay, appearance fee of $7,500. The reason why we charge you this is for podcast production, editing, and marketing. But when you go to the podcast, this one specifically,
shot in 720p.
The level of production we have with a small audience, relatively speaking, and a smaller amount of money to work with is shocking. Even down to the shot angles on camera of the guests. Like, he literally just has the end of his skull showing.
The beard line right here.
The beard line. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys, Mr. Blob here.
No, dude, I was pissed by that. I was really pissed by that.
No, it just doesn't make any sense. But, hey, glad it's not us.
It just goes to show that there's a lot of improvement in that needs to be done in the podcast realm.
100%. Yeah, man, there's a lot of cheap podcasts out there, too. I mean, ours is pretty, I would say, cheap, but we try not to push for that, you know, at least in terms of quality, you know.
No, we make it work. We put our heart into it.
100%.
Yeah.
That's too funny. Anyway, those are the updates. I'm super grateful for everyone that has stuck around. I know even though we haven't posted anything, we're still getting the engagement we like, which is like
only
insane.
A few older reels, you know.
Yeah, it's insane to me. So, thank you very much for all of that. By the way, we're rocking new mics today. Thanks for DJI.
DJI?
Yeah, DJI.
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 I thought it was DJI this whole time.
Nah, dude.
What the hell?
DJ Waka Waka I, you know? That's what it is. Anyway, guys, go visit our sponsors. They're going to be all down in the link below. Use code 2AM for 2 of them, and then ButcherBox is going to be 2AM podcast, all caps. Don't forget our website, 2ampodcast.com, if you want to sign up for our newsletter.
We're going to update that as well.
Yeah.
Squarespace is charging way too much.
Dude.
For what it is.
We're going to have our own little website. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Go ahead and follow us at the 2AM Podcast on YouTube. We're also on Instagram at the 2AM Podcast. If you are an ex-member, go ahead and follow us at 2AM Pod. You will surely love every piece of content that's going to be coming your way. Special guests are going to be announced as well. That's why we're trying to get the spot so they can come into a fresh new home. Mm-hmm. It's going to be fan-frickin-tastic. Thank you, guys. Have a lovely day.
Peace.
Later.